Hi, Adam.
Hey, Shemeika.
Adam Brouwer is the one of the owners of EK Metering. And what is EK Metering? What do you guys do?
It's EKM Metering,
EKM.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So uh, what we do is design and sell metering systems, sub-metering systems for electricity, water, and gas.
Mm-hmm.
So sub-metering is sort of a behind the utility meter metering system where it's like if you have a rental property and you don't have utility meters for each rental, you can install sub-metering systems like ours to sort of equitably divide up the utility bill amongst your tenants.
That's awesome.
That's essentially, from a high level, what we do.
Oh, for some reason
hmm
I thought that you were like on more on the side of like metering like car charging stations.
That's one. That's another sort of growing industry that we're selling to.
Okay.
Um, but it's essentially the same idea as your car chargers are installed on like a shopping center property,
Mm-hmm.
and they the chargers are being sub-metered so that whoever owns the property gets paid back for the electricity that's going towards those chargers.
Got it. That's
hmm
cool. How did you get into this industry, and who are you in business with? Because I thought I like that story too.
Yeah, so it started by my dad. Basically started because he had a need for metering. He has a rental property in Watsonville. It's a
Uh-huh.
warehouse with something like 10 units, and he was paying all the utilities. Basically, he was subsidizing the cost of utilities for his tenants, and so he started looking for metering systems and was pretty unhappy with what he found. It was super expensive, and
Mhm.
the capabilities were pretty poor, and he basically installed some of those meters, and in so doing started a relationship with some companies in China and just started a dialogue with them. Eventually went over there, visited, and bought more meters and started developing, iterating on different designs. Along the way, my brother came on board and started turning it into less of like a hobby and more
Mhm.
into a business. Eventually, I came on board after school, and yeah,
So
I don't
it's
know. I've been on
family run and family owned and operated.
exactly, yeah.
And what where do you serve just Santa Cruz County, or are you guys
No, it's
shipping?
yeah, it's primarily an internet e-commerce business. So we're
Uh-huh.
selling mostly within the U.S., but also to Canada, Australia, and really anywhere in the world that wants a metering system. Um, Definitely, our focus is the U.S. just because it's far easier to deal with. It's time zones are easier and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's international.
Yeah, that's cool. And I like what you said. I feel like a lot of innovation and growth comes out of need. So the fact that your dad recognized this need in the marketplace because of an experience that he was relating to
hmm
personally, that this was born and developed, and that it turned into a really cool business serving our community and the world, essentially internationally.
Yeah, I mean the reason that my brother and I were interested uh, was based on his experience because as soon as he installed meters on an unmetered rental like his warehouse,
Mhm.
the electricity usage was cut in half because yeah, right. I mean, all of a sudden the onus is on them to conserve energy because
Yeah.
before they could just use as much as they wanted and it was entirely subsidized. So as soon as they're paying, um, they're basically incentivized to use less, and so it's more common to see like a 30% reduction, but even still, like it's a huge efficiency measure
Yeah. Well,
to
that's
install
so
meters when
you
there
can,
aren't meters.
that's really cool because then it like obviously also has the direct effect on our world, on our globe, and on our environment.
Right.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
thank
why
you
I'm
for
I'm
that.
saying like my brother and I are coming at it from a sort of a environmentalist angle. That's really our main interest.
Okay. What
Yeah.
about your dad?
I mean, if initially he's also like he likes that angle as well, but
Yeah.
initially for him it was just like it was more of a financial
Yeah.
decision, and
Yeah.
it just turned out that it turned into an efficiency measure, sort of like as a bonus.
That's cool.
But yeah, so it's the nice thing about it is if you structure um, the agreement with your tenants properly, everybody sort of wins at the end, because if the tenants using less, they should also be spending less. Because if you don't, if it's a sort of a flat rate bill where utilities are included in the rent, the landlord typically just jacks up the rent to cover the cost of the utilities.
Right.
But if there's no way of determining who in this rental property is using electricity, everybody's just going to use a ton.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's turns out to be a win-win.
Yeah. So you're in your shop even during this pandemic, which is your home, your living room. And so how have you shifted? Because so for anybody who's going to be watching this, Adam sent me this really cool picture of a face guard mask that I've actually seen on doctors that are frontline and taking swabs and serving communities. So how did you kind of like shift and start doing that?
Well, we have a few 3D printers in our shop that we use for prototyping and stuff, but more often than not, they're just sitting idle. And so we were watching, obviously, what's going on in the country and around the world with the pandemic, and just wanted to help in some way. So we figured, like, we kept hearing about a shortage of personal protective equipment, and started hearing or reading, blogs and articles about people printing and laser cutting and doing all sorts of things to make PPEs, and figured we could do the same. So we just really started printing without a plan, and figured out how to make them. And we have a family who are healthcare workers, and so we just sent them some, and it's a family of some of our employees as well, so we sent them some. And that's really where we are. We're just printing away and trying to find people to send them to.
That's so cool. And this is a give back. This is not like a money making plan. Right. This is like you're serving our world and our community, which
right. Yeah, it's I mean, they're very, very cheap to make. It's just it takes about 2.5 hours to print a couple of them per printer. And it's like a few cents worth of plastic, and then like a clear transparent shield, which is also pretty cheap. So
do you have one that you can show us?
I have a sort of prototype. Let me grab it. I'll be right back.
Okay. We'll wait.
This is it.
That's so cool.
So it
covers your entire face.
Right. Yeah. It's, if I didn't have a hat on, it would go like basically like that. If you have a mask on, it sort of keeps the clear part of it away from your face. So.
And you guys make like the like holder thing, the green part. You print that whole thing on a 3D printer.
The clear part, not. I mean, this comes as like basically an 8.5 by 11 clear sheet.
Okay.
And you use a 3D or a 3-hole punch, a couple punches to cut out these little holes, and just snaps into this thing around the edge.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's super simple, super easy to make. And apparently they're needed, so
yeah,
happy to do it.
How do we can I put your contact information so if anybody needs one, they can reach out to you?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can contact me at Adam at EKM Metering.com.
I'll put it in the notes.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Happy to, set it up so they can be picked up locally, or we can send them out really to anywhere.
Okay. And with all of this pandemic, I mean, I've never lived through anything like this. And as far as I know, you haven't either. How has your life shifted?
I mean, it's definitely shifted a little bit. I mean, we're doing like the, social distancing thing as sort of like a family unit. My brother's here with his wife and my dad and stepmom. That's sort of our little quarantine unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't really go out very much. I mean, this really is like my home. I'm in the office or around here pretty much all the time. So,
Wow.
but business continues.
Yeah.
No employees in the office, so
Everybody's able to work from home for your company?
most of them are. I mean, we do have to ship products, so that's me these days, me or my brother, uh, doing shipping, and then but all like customer service and development and all that stuff can happen remotely. So we're
That's
pretty
great.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if we could support you, if people in the community could support you guys and your business, how can we do that? Just buying and ordering and getting the word out?
Yeah, I mean, if you're interested in metering, if you have a rental unit that's unmetered,
Mm-hmm.
water or gas or electricity, you can go to our website, ekmmetering.com, reach out to us at support@ekmmetering.com and start a conversation. We can help you out, figure out what you need, and uh, yeah, or just, reach out to us about the face shields and we're happy to send them out.
Okay, perfect. I'll put all of your contact info in there so nobody has to remember anything and they'll know what to do and how to do it.
Cool.
They don't even have to take a note, but
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate what you're doing. I think that for me watching this, that's the most beautiful thing out of what's happening is that people are taking time to actually give back and serve the community and get really grounded with what my core value is, which is serving our people and taking care of each other. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Yeah, I think we're perfectly aligned.
I
Yeah.
think. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, say hi to your family too for us.
Will do.
Right, cool.
See ya.
I'm gonna unrecord. I mean, stop recording.